I got tricked. No, I'm joking.
Almost none of them will know.
Almost. Why would you know?
And that sounds dangerous.
It actually does sound dangerous. So I'm looking, I'm like, I'm about to kill these guys, you know?
Yeah.
You're listening to the Roofing Success Podcast, a show created to inspire roofing contractors to achieve optimal success in their roofing businesses. I'm the host, Jim Aline, the co-author of the books Internet Marketing for Roofing Contractors and The Best Known Roofer. I'm also the co-founder of Roofer Marketers, the leading digital marketing agency for the roofing industry. On each episode, I sit down with industry leaders to talk about their processes, the lessons they've learned, and how to find success in roofing.
Well, welcome to another episode of the Roofing Success Podcast, live from the Roof Gallery in Marietta, Georgia.
Yes.
Hosted by the man Roofs by Donavan Morgan.
What's
How
up,
are you,
guys?
man?
Everything's going great. Thanks for asking. Welcome to Atlanta.
Thank you.
How do you like it so far?
That's beautiful, man.
Good,
it's
good,
beautiful.
good.
It's been a little rainy, but that's all right.
Yeah.
It's better than the snow that we have up where I'm at. So.
100% better. Unless you're snowboarding or something like that.
That's right.
I definitely think it's better.
That's right. So, Donavan Morgan, you are the founder of Roofs by Don.
Yes.
Let's talk about how you got into roofing.
I got tricked. No, I'm joking. Well, I was doing, I got tricked into the door-to-door industry, so to speak. So I'm real good at sales naturally. Marketing, I guess, is just natural. I did music.
Yep.
So with me doing music, I have to market myself. So I was, pushing CDs, showing my age a little bit, pushing CDs in like South Beach and stuff like that, flyers for DJ Khaled. I used to promote for him, and that's what helped as far as marketing and as far as going to people and talking to them wise, like face to face.
Yeah.
And I finally, I opened up for like Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, Ludacris. They're actually doing pretty good, but just not enough to be like a household name.
Okay.
So, and me, I like nice things. So I'm like, hey, I need to buy a Benz. I need to get a mansion, And with the music, it wasn't necessarily doing it like that yet. And my girl at the time, she had got lupus. So I had to get like a real job, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me find something so that way I can hold everything down. And I ended up at Home Depot. And it was like one of the worst things ever. I have a tattoo. It says I won't lose because I like music. But because I had the tattoo, they would only let me push carts. At first, they wouldn't even let me inside. I'm like, oh my gosh, I know I'm better than this, So while I was there, I broke a record within my 3 months of working there, just as far as how fast I was excelling. And then I was in the garden section, and I was selling like accessories with all the gardens. I was always selling like multiples and things like that. So once they see me doing that, I asked how could I get a raise, and they was like, you can't get a raise. He was like, you have to wait till a year. And after a year, it's 60 cents. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, let me get out of here, So I found something that was commission-based. And that's what kind of started my route. It was the moving industry, though. So moving household furnitures from one state to another. And I started doing real good in that. I was able to buy my Benz now and things like that, make six figures. But the moving industry, it just wasn't the best customer-friendly industry.
Yeah.
And me, I like to be someone that I like to take pride in what I do, and I get kind of obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So I want to get good results. So like at the end of the day, when I was doing moving, I'd price a homeowner, say $1,000, but the price always goes up. So if I'm talking to someone, they're like, I only have 1,000. I'm like, yeah, I got you covered. I double, triple checked. And then when you get to the home, the price goes up, homeowners not happy, you get bad reviews,
Yeah, and
things
that's
like
not
that.
a good experience to be that from you, because then you're dealing with that customer. They're calling you back.
Exactly.
I always learn that in sales. I've done a lot of sales in my life, and it's if I'm not completely sold on what I'm selling,
It's not good.
I don't sell.
Exactly.
Like I won't perform at my peak.
And I had to learn that.
Right.
I had to learn that by going through it.
Yeah.
So at first it's like, I'm sell anything. I'm making money.
That's right.
Let's do it. And then you realize like, nah, I want a better quality of life.
Yeah.
And I want my customers, especially if I'm trying to make them happy, make them have a good experience.
Yep.
I want it to be able to be followed through.
Yeah.
So I tried to switch industries. I came to Atlanta. Long story short, I got into AT&T, which was door to door. That's how I got tricked. That's where I met Dan DeMansion, actually, my business partner. And the first week he trained me as far as for door to door. And then my first week with myself, I broke a record again. I got 14 sales my first week, AT&T, and it kind of just started going. Roofing, I met a roofing owner. It was this one weekend. I was in one neighborhood, and I was on my 8th sale, so I was killing it, like, on my second day. And he seen me. He was like, I just see you every time I'm looking, you're signing somebody up. He's like, what do you know that you could be doing the same thing but for roofing? I'm like, I'm good. I'm the top salesperson where I'm at. I'm good right now, you know? But AT&T, they messed up my check, and they didn't know, but their roofing company called me again. I was like, nah, I'm good. And then they called me one more time when I actually left AT&T because of a money issue. So I stayed at AT&T for 3 months, and then I started looking at, I needed something to make over $100,000. I need to keep my Benz. I couldn't get it repoed, you know?
Yeah.
And then I found, like, home care, like health insurance.
Okay.
You know, you go to health insurance. I'm like, maybe that could be it. And then the roofing company called me again. And this time I was like, you know what? I'm still working at AT&T, a little white lie, but I'm still working at AT&T, but they owe me $1,350. So if you give me that, I'll come in. They was like, no problem. I was like, okay, let's go. So I get there. They only had like 4 salespeople at the time. And then one person, he had, shout out to Austin, but just at the time, I'm real competitive.
Yeah.
So once he had like one arm, but he won the contest. It was like 2 contingencies for that week. And whoever got the most contingencies won $500, you know? So I'm looking, I'm like, I'm about to kill these guys, you know?
Yeah.
And then that's what I tell. So the next week I was like, look, I'm gonna win this competition so I can win this $500, and then I'm gonna recruit people that can do the same thing. So that the next week that came in, I got 5 contingencies, so I actually won. And then I brought in 2 people, one Victory Shingles, he's part of Roofs by Don too, and then another person, and they were just getting 4 contingencies each, and I was getting my 5, and we were just started killing it and just beating the office really.
Yep.
And just from there, within the 3 months I was working there, I recruited over 20 people to the office, 20 new people, and all really from the AT&T office that were doing door to door.
Yeah.
And it was cool because with the AT&T, I feel like with their kind of system a little bit, it's kind of like you're trained like a Spartan, and you're trained like a Marine. And then with door to door, when I see like the roofers, they're not really trained at all. So it's like you're getting in a fight with like a regular civilian and a Marine. And so when we started in the winter. But the winter we just went in. We didn't know a slow season, a busy season. We didn't know anything.
You didn't know what you didn't know.
So I just started going in. We just started, and we getting contingencies left and right.
Yeah.
We weren't getting them approved right away because we didn't know how to find the right houses. We didn't really get trained like that. We got trained as far as throw us out there. What do we say? I don't know. So I kind of had to make my pitch mixed with stuff that I knew in the past.
Yep.
You know, and it ended up working. We ended up making it our own. Then I could start training to other people. But long story short, as far as roofing, I got in. Once we got in, the main thing with us is we were able to recruit big. So I recruited over 50 people within a year time frame. I'm $1 million producer on my own, just for myself. I started producing my first year. And this is not good, but I took 4 months off in the summer, which is weird because I didn't know a busy season or slow season. So I was doing it. I wasn't used to pipeline business too much. So I'm getting my sales, and I'm getting like over $10,000 a week. And it started happening consistent. And I remember like in June, I was like, yeah, I could be working right now, but we were having discrepancies in the office. I was trying to be a sales manager, and I was recruiting so many people, but I wasn't getting like any kind of kickback or anything.
Oh.
So I'm like, what's going on? Let me try to elevate. And at the end of the day, in June in the summer, they weren't really giving me like a way to elevate. So I was like, let me take some time off. And I took time off till August, and it ended up being one check I got, and it was like a little less than $6,000. I was like, hold on, what's going on? And that's when I got back working, you know?
Yep.
So one thing I always like to tell roofers is once you're grinding, it's a pipeline business. Do not stop. Do not stop. That's what all roofers do. That's how they mess up. You'll be surprised. We have people that come in and we pump them up. They'll get a pipeline. They get $12,000, $16,000 on one check, and then they disappear.
Yep.
Then they go to Miami. They're having surgery. They're doing whatever they're doing, you know. But the main thing is to stay on the grind. So that way, once you get that $12,000 or $16,000 paycheck, then you can get it next week as well. But the only way that's going to happen is if you keep working. The week that you stop, 4 weeks later, that paycheck is going to stop.
That's an interesting thing to talk about. That like it's a pipeline business. So how do you fill a pipeline first? You're door to door, strong door to door.
Yep.
That's your strength. So how do you fill that pipeline door to door? What are some things that you can help other people in that regard?
That's a good question. To be honest, I think it's the simple answer, which is going out there and knocking doors. They say the hardest door is the car door.
Yeah.
But once you get out the car door and you start knocking and you start working, you're going to get your customers. You're giving them a service. You're really like Superman to the roof. So to be honest, when I go there, I'm smiling like, hey, how you doing? I feel like they need me.
Yeah.
So it's not even a sale. I'm giving a free inspection at first, you know? So really it's like I'm helping you protect your asset, which is your home. And in return of that, I get to build your roof, you know?
So what I hear there is first it's a mindset, right? Like
100%.
You're not, it's not how many doors can I knock or what am I going to say here? It's that you have the mindset that you're going out and helping.
Yes.
And if
especially coming from the moving, like I was
Yes.
saying, the quality of life.
Yeah.
So with this, I actually get to give them a product. We build a roof and they're actually happy.
Yeah.
They feel like they're on their own home improvement show.
Yeah.
So with the mindset, I'm literally like, hey, I'm here to help you.
Yeah.
It's free. And it's kind of like me saying, hey, you have a flat tire and I'm a mechanic. Like, you're going to say no? Like,
Yeah.
no, I don't. What do you mean? I'm telling you you have a flat tire. Like, so, or at least you could just inspect it, see how much air pressure you have in there. The very least, right? It's the same thing with the roof. It's a free inspection. There's a storm in the area. The very least you can do is just check to see if you have damages.
That's right.
Because if you do, then you can be proactive. Or if you don't, now you know you're good.
And now when you have that mindset, you're the expert. You can go and help these people. Now it's not as daunting a task to open that car door.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's the main thing. It's door to door. So if you think about it, you're like, oh man, what am I doing? They don't want a stranger coming to their door.
Yeah.
But that's putting yourself in the wrong mindset.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you start thinking that, you don't want to get out yourself. You start thinking that you're a person that's not attractive to be at the door. But to me, to be honest, I feel like we're more attractive than anyone else comes to the door because we're not selling AT&T. We're not selling knives. We're actually helping your asset. It's your house. Unless you're a renter, then I understand.
Yes.
Now I understand how it could be maybe interrupting your daily life. But other than that, I'm protecting your asset. I'm making you aware of the situation since we're, the trusted advisor, since we do this on a day-to-day basis.
Yep.
And that's it, just making you aware. And if you actually have damage, now we can help you.
Right. Now you moved out you were would you say in a sales manager role at that company?
Yeah.
And then what was the turning point where you're like, I got to do this on my own. I got to be the owner.
Honestly, it's dealing with bad companies.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you have bad owners and you realize what you should have done different or what you would never do,
Yeah.
Just simple stuff. Sometimes I think some things are real simple. It's just that if it's done or not. So like if you don't pay your salespeople,
that's an easy one.
Right? That's it, right?
What are some of the harder ones? What are some of the things that some people don't think about that as an owner, that if you're doing this, you're putting your business in jeopardy by not making a great home for your people?
I think the main thing, like with that, as far as I feel like you're putting your business in jeopardy when, just like you said, you're not really caring about your salespeople. You don't care about necessarily growth.
Yep.
You're just looking at them as a check. And to be honest, nowadays, just in business and when people want jobs, people don't even stay at places that long anymore. I think it's like 3 years and then they're moving on to the next thing, right?
Yeah.
So you want to have a place where there's growth, and where it feels like you're actually there, like a family kind of setting where you're actually there to help, you're actually there to empower. So like with us at Roofs by Don, the main thing that I took from the other company that I made sure I didn't want to do was we like being dream facilitators. So that's what we call it, dream facilitator. So anyone that comes to our company, yes, it's a roofing office, it's a roofing company. But the first thing I want to know is in the first round interview is, what do you like to do outside of roofing?
Yeah.
Because I don't want this to be a place where it kills your dreams A lot of times people think roofing is not a sexy industry, so they're like, I'm a roofer now. Oh my gosh, they don't even want to show it on their page.
Yeah.
They'll make a separate page just to show the roofing stuff.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why is because how it's portrayed. And if you become a roofer, it's like your dreams are dead. Who says I'm a roofer just as a kid? So that's what you think is going to kill your dream.
Yeah.
But to be honest, this is what enhances your dreams. Well, and this is what I see. So people. Like, for instance, they like music. We're in Atlanta, so a lot of people like music. We have a theme song. It's called Every Single Day.
That's right.
But it started because us dream facilitating. So we have artists that like music. Hey, let's rap. Let's make a song, And I actually got them paid. I got them paid, so that was their first music gig, Same thing. We have videographers, photographers. So we have our room, our media room.
Yeah.
We have a podcast, not podcast, I'm sorry, reality show every single day that's going to be coming. And this is our confessional room, So we do cool things like that. We make homeowners even feel like they're on their own home improvement show, So it's not just like a construction zone and nails on the ground. No, it's like you're Mrs. or Mr. HGTV.
Yeah.
You get the before and after. Because everything is more of like an experience. It's kind of like, to me, it's like you just go to work and you just clock in, or you go somewhere and it's like, even when it's after hours, you're just there because you love it. It's like, I would do this regardless. Yeah. And when it's roofing, sometimes it's hard to find that. But when you mix it with things that people love to do, then it becomes fun.
So making sure that you're creating an environment for your team for them to thrive in.
Correct.
To expand their skill set, but also have fun with it too.
Correct. We have people that like animals, so we sponsor the Atlanta Humane Society. We got a custom doghouse, Roost by Don doghouse, So just things like that. We always like to give back and just enhance what other people like to do.
Yeah. You had talked about one thing that I thought was important, and it's I'm missing it right now, and I'm going to have to think about it for a sec. But
it's okay.
In that reality show, this is what I want to go back to, the reality show aspect of it, right? Not just for your guy, for Roofs by Dawn every single day, but for the homeowner, and making the homeowner feel like they are on a reality show, or like they're
on their own
home improvement show, right?
Yes.
Talk to that. What's the process of that? What steps in that process do you do to make them feel that way?
Great question. So with me, the main thing is I usually like to say this is I treat roofing like a sport, or like business like a sport in general. So I want to be the best of the best, right? So I feel like if you're Tiger Woods, you're Michael Jordan, you're LeBron, then you're probably on TV, right? So that's why you say, hey, we need to do it every single day. We need to get on podcasts. We need to do interviews, We need to be out there. So as far as for a roofer now, to give the homeowners that experience, I feel like they need to feel like they're on their own home improvement show.
Yeah.
And so that's what we do. So once we go in, the starting process is even the first inspection. That's the before pictures. That's it right there, Once we sign them up and we actually get it approved, we do a quick video with them. Usually once we sign them up too, we usually have like with the contingency, have them smile with the salesperson, just have them involved in the process.
Yeah.
We tell them to look us up. So I want to make sure you guys are a good company. Look us up right now. Our shirts have QR codes, so they're able to open it up, and then they kind of see us on HGTV with David Bromstad.
Okay.
And then they see like the social proof on the social media. They see some of the reviews from homeowners, and then they want to be part of it. And then once we actually sign them up, they get approved. They sign the bill contract. We actually have a home improvement section. So basically, we have a Roost by Dawn VIP customer experience where Roost by Dawn pops up, and we interview them, give them some questions. But essentially, they have their own home improvement show section. We bring the cameras out. They get the befores and afters, the drone shots. And at the end of the day, they're able to put that on their social media. They're able to keep that with them as well. Because, again, everything is an experience to me. So I go to the Burberry store. Once I get there, they say, hey, Mr. Morgan, would you like a water?
Yeah.
Sparkling or still? So that's why when you come to the roof gallery, would you like a water? Sparkling or still? We have our customer experience section where it's just a more elevated experience and interactive for the homeowners. We have a pull test. We have different things where homeowners can do as well. So then they can Because usually, to me, I think when homeowners buy roofs, they don't really know what the product is.
No,
GAF,
for sure.
ICO, Owens Corning, Certainty.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, you know?
Yeah.
They're really buying it from you. So they're really buying a Roofs by Don system, and then whatever the product is just what happens that wherever I put on there.
Yeah.
But they're gonna trust me to be the trusted advisor to put the best product on there, of course.
I was talking with this with someone else recently, and we were talking about how if you ask a homeowner a year later what shingle is on their roof, what manufacturer it is, that almost none of them will know.
Almost. Why would you know?
And then
it's real hard.
But then on the other side, which I think is even more a much more terrible thing, is that they don't know who put the roof on.
They don't know the roofer either.
They don't know the roofer either, and that's crazy to me. So I think that you're on this path of creating this customer experience. That's what makes it memorable.
Yes, that's the whole thing.
Right.
It's kind of like you go to the Nike store, and you shop, and then you get the bag. Right, they put the stuff in the bag. That bag becomes a trash bag at the end of the day, right? You go to the Burberry store, Louis Vuitton, Gucci store, same exact experience, but now that bag all of a sudden becomes like storage.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to throw it away all of a sudden. Like, you know, they even like the strings, everything is just like an elevated experience.
Yes.
And I feel like that's what the main thing is, because if it's not about the experience, then it's just roofing and it's just a construction zone. You're actually like, to me, I feel like you're almost like a problem, like you're a nuisance a little bit for that day when stuff is going on.
Yeah.
But with us, in our process, is like an experience.
Yeah.
They feel like I'm getting an upgrade.
I mean, part of the fears that homeowners have in dealing with the roofing process is that they're inconvenienced, that they're going to have their home damaged by faulty workmanship, things like that. Like, those are all real things. So making an experience out of it, making sure that those fears are hit on along the way, that's so important. So now you're looking at this. I think this is interesting too. You're looking at luxury brands as a kind of a model.
Yeah.
Where
Burberry Don.
Right? Yeah.
So because when I say Burberry Don too, we did an event last year in March. It was the construction of the Burberry trench coat, and I was the host of the Burberry event. So it was the first Burberry and the construction industry collab together. So that's real cool. And the reason why is because that's what I like. So I'm thinking, like, how would I attract myself as a customer? Yeah. And I like experiences. I like to go to nice restaurants, try different things, I like to go to the designer stores but why do I like that? Is it just because I like to spend money? No, it's because the experience. They make me feel good.
The experience is different.
Exactly. When I go to Nike, it's, hey, what's up? Or I might have to find somebody. Yeah. And then they'll get the size. Perfect. Good experience. But when I go to a luxury store, like I said, it's, hey, Mr. Morgan, they might remember your name after you went there just one time. They're going to ask you if you want water. They're going to give you just a better experience altogether. Yeah. Down to the packaging. Even the receipt, it's in a package. Yes. And it's in a branded package.
And a lot of times, like, everything feels different. The bag, like you're talking about, the bag is different. It's a higher quality material. It's a different feel to it, and that it enhances that experience, right?
Yeah, and then translate that to roofing now. Yeah. Just like you said, customers want to know if they're siding, if you're going to be treating their plants, with white glove care. So when we show things like the catch-all, for instance, and we're showing that we're protecting the siding, you can have a Japanese maple tree, but we're going to be protecting it as well. That's the things that make the difference, and that helps the experience.
So I like where you're going with this. This is really interesting, and that's what led to where we're at today in the roof gallery.
Yes.
Right, is putting together this experience. So instead of just having an office,
the roof gallery.
Right.
So I got this from you. So I think you said this before. You did say this before. I don't want to butcher it though. You said, do you rather be the best roofer or the best known roofer? Yeah. Right? And my answer is the best known. Because I feel like once I'm the best known, that I can really reel in everything else and I'll be the best. Yeah. And at the end of the day, and if you're the best but nobody knows you, what good is that?
What good is it?
Right? So that's what I feel like. I feel like everything that I do, the Roofs by Don, even my business partner, Dan the Mansion, Victory Shingles, we all have like names. Yeah. Like, where eventually for Halloween we'll be able to have costumes, you know. But yeah, I feel like everything needs to be branded, and I feel like we have the best office in the world, and really it starts with the United States. But I feel like if you have the best office in the United States, it's probably the world too. So in order to have the best roofing office in the world, I feel like the first thing, it needs to have a different name. It can't just be regular, right? It
can't be
like
just
a superhero.
The
right?
Roof by Don office. Like
Yeah,
the Roofs
then-
by Don office.
Then that's just an office.
Yeah.
Why does any other roofer even need to come here then, right?
Yeah.
But when it's the roof gallery, it's more inviting, and we want to invite the industry as a whole, and we want to affect the culture, not just our clients or our 5 mile radius, so to speak. So I feel like with the roof gallery, now we're able to celebrate everyone, like yourself. You're in the roof gallery. They're in the Roofers Coffee Shop in the kitchen. The Roofers Coffee Shop, we have ICO here. We have GAF. We have EuroShield. We have different brands.
Yep.
We have Pitch Gauge. We have the Rich Pro that's involved. John the Roof Pro with his discontinued wall section.
Yep.
We have Roof Hustlers, Hail Trace. We got Matt Mullen in the building, and we got the Hail Cannon. So I can't wait for you guys to see that a little later. That's going to be so cool. So we have the industry that's involved in this project, and I think that's the main thing, because with the Roof Gallery, it's supposed to be the Roof Museum. That's what it is, and basically a hall of fame for roofers. And I felt like we didn't have that in the industry yet, so this is what it is. So we had to make it happen, and that's what it is.
And in putting this together, you put a lot of thought into it. Like when I arrived today, you gave me the tour.
Yes.
Right, and it's a very methodical tour.
Yes.
Right. It's well thought out. Let's walk through the tour as you explain it. Like
This is actually real cool. Okay, so as far as for the roof gallery, I'll give you guys the breakdown and my inspirations. My inspiration is Walt Disney. So they have a ride in Magic Kingdom, the alien encounter. I don't know if you guys know. So in the alien encounter, when you walk in, my first thing I want to do is experience. Everything's about the experience. Yeah. So the difference between Disney World and like Six Flags, it's the same ride, like a roller coaster, but when you're waiting in line, in Six Flags, you're just waiting in line. But in Disney World, it's, and then it gives you like a theme, it tells you a little story, and there's like, proceed to the next room. And then you go to the next room, and then now you actually, see something else, and then you finally do the 60-second ride, but it was like a whole story.
Yeah.
So you feel a better experience than just doing the 60-second ride.
Yeah.
So that's the start of it. So that's why once you come into the roof gallery, the first thing you do is you watch the screen, you get a little intro, proceed to the next room, and then each room has each interactive thing that you can do. So we have our customer experience room. The homeowners are able to have their personal house on their TV, and the roof color changes to whatever shingle they want, so that way they can see it. We also have a pull test, or we call it the tug test, at the gallery, where they're able to see each individual architectural shingles, whichever one they want, and then they can do the test so they can see for themselves which one is stronger.
Yep.
And again, just an interactive experience. They put on the white gloves because we handle everything with white glove care. We got the media room, which is where we're in right now, where homeowners can, again, feel like they're Mr. and Mrs. HGTV. They can sit down and be like, hey, I'm Donavan, and right now I'm at the roof gallery. Catch me and watch my new roof get built.
Yeah.
And then we'll put it a part of their package. So make it like real cool for them. And then in our roof museum, which is the final room, we have a place where they can walk through, where on the walls it shows basically roofing knowledge, but in an artistic way.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. We got virtual reality goggles. We got a couple cool stuff.
Yeah, and that again, it's a different experience, and that's what I think is cool about what you're doing. Because roofing is, let's say it's a commodity, right? Like, depending on the state that you live in, sometimes you don't even need a license. I don't know about Georgia.
You don't
need a license, right? So if you can go and buy shingles, you can sell a roof.
Technically,
yes. Right?
Yep.
It's, and so you don't even have, so these differentiators are what makes companies great. Like, right. So, and I think that like the most successful companies out there, that's what you'll find. You'll find that they're, I think you're doing very unique things.
Thank you.
But I think that it's making that customer experience, whether it's just making sure that the phone is answered.
Yep.
Just making sure that they're communicated with well. those differentiate yourself already.
Of course.
Right. But I think that it's fun and imaginative for you to have thought of this.
Because at the end of the day, I need to be the world's most known roofer. So I feel like there's billions of people in the world, so I got to do something different.
Yeah.
And really, it is different, but it's different for the roofing industry.
Yeah.
As far as, what we're doing, there's nothing necessarily new under the sun. It's just that we're trying to, again, just give people an experience, but just through roofing.
Let's talk about, is door-to-door the main focus for selling, or do you have other marketing channels that you work on?
Door to door. So just so you guys know, this is our sophomore year in business. So we actually, our first year in business is January 1st, 2022, last year.
Yeah.
We did, our main focus is door to door, or I say was our main focus, but really it's generating our own leads, and having our right customers find us.
Yeah.
So that's why we give the experience. That's why we have our office. Before we had our office, so many people were saying, don't get a roofing office. Roofers don't need it. It's only if they have a large sales team. We have a couple sales guys, but only if you have a large sales team, you don't need it, And to me, I don't look at it like that. I look at it as this is going to generate money as well. It actually already has, so we already past that,
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, again, it gives the homeowner an experience. Everything's usually done at the dinner table.
Yep.
A lot of times because they don't have a roofing office, you don't know how their stuff look.
Yeah.
So in this case, they can actually come see us, see how our house looks, that we're clean.
Yeah.
So now you can have a better expectation of what we're going to do to your house.
How what percentage of customers do you feel are making the choice to come in and sit down with you? Because I think that's a lot of times when people talk about having an office and and things like that, they're like, well, no one's going to come in.
I think it's all about expectation and what are you making it for? So are you making an office for people to come in? A lot of times they don't.
True.
They just make a roofing office just to store materials and to have a quick sales training and then tell the guys to go on. So that's what you're going to get. So our office is a little bit different. It's set up different. It looks a little different. So that way it's inviting for people to come. And we want them to come. We want them to get the VIP experience.
Have you built that into like your sales process?
Yes.
Like that how have you built that into your sales process?
We have a Roofs by Don VIP customer experience. So when it's designer shingles, when they're not cutting any corners, they want to see the options.
Yeah, the best package.
Exactly.
Good, better, best. They're on the best package,
Yes,
right?
then we let them in.
Yeah.
If they're trying to, I need to waive my deductible, or they're trying to like stuff like that, then they get the regular package, which is still great, which is still amazing. It's just there's a difference.
Yeah.
And that's all.
Yeah, for sure. So, and then you guys do, I know, so it sounds like brand is very important to you.
Yes.
Right? Brand is very important to you. Door-to-door has been the essential factor in how you got into roofing and how you started, generating business for Roofs by Don.
But we need to do better. I just want to say that with the door-to-door. If you guys are, I don't want to say door-to-door because that's, but insurance to an inverse retail. That's what I really wanted to say.
Got it.
Insurance versus retail. If you're a retail company, you're not doing insurance, all the insurance guys are looking at you like, oh my gosh, how much millions of dollars you're missing out on? And then I had to realize it's the same thing vice versa.
Vice versa.
So I'm doing insurance sales and we're doing millions, but we're looking at retail guys and they're doing millions in sales and we're missing meat on the bone. So make sure that everyone's doing both insurance and retail.
I've had a couple of these discussions recently, and one of them specifically was that actually I was talking with Deshaun last night over dinner, and we were talking about like the perfect roofing company maybe being retail focused first with the ability to do storm restoration work at a high level, right? So you have that retail consistency, you have your brand, you have that ongoing presence, and then if you can excel at storm restoration on top of that, that sounds dangerous.
It actually does sound dangerous,
right?
It does, because then you have your foundation.
You have
set.
your foundation.
It doesn't
set.
matter about
You're
a storm.
not reliant on
a storm.
Like
Colorado right now.
My
a
goodness.
lot of roofing companies in Colorado.
Yeah,
they're praying for a hailstorm, Hail Mary.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, if you got to do retail,
there's a lot of them.
that hard.
There's a lot of them not praying anymore. because
Really?
they're out of business.
Exactly. Like,
Right? Like
facts.
It changes when you rely on the storm, and not that you can't create a successful business 100% focused on storm restoration. There's a lot of great roofing companies that have been built on that. But it was just something that Deshaun and I were talking about, and I was like, that's it. Like that seems like the formula.
Yeah,
Right.
100%. And that's what we're getting on more too. As far as for companies, 'cause when they see us up here and we're speaking of me, I'm speaking about me. We're doing great and everything, but there's still always room for improvement.
Yeah.
So especially like the retail side, we need to improve on that, and that's I feel like is us having the roof gallery.
Yeah.
It's kind of in that direction.
I
It's us
think what's
taking that
fun in
step.
business is that there's always an opportunity.
Exactly. Always.
Always an opportunity, and there's always an opportunity to make a slight adjustment and make it better.
Yep.
And so, you guys did a lot of hiring and recruiting. I think that that's a big challenge for people in the industry. What tips or tricks can you give to contractors in hiring and recruiting good sales reps for their business?
Okay, so here's the tip. So sometimes things sound hard, but it's real simple. So I know recruiting does seem like it's hard for people in the industry. That's something that I'm real just like, I guess, good at. Like, it's just easy to me. So one thing is kind of like the Wolf of Wall Street. So you need to see like Donnie, and then he was like, how much you made in like this week? I forgot what he said. And he told him how much he made. He's like, if you show me a paycheck right now, then I'll quit my job right now. So the first 20 people that I recruited I was at a different thing. I was at AT&T. They said, Dan DeMansion, my business partner, he said, if you show me a $3,000 paycheck, I'll come over.
Yeah.
Less than a month, I showed him a $3,000 paycheck, and he came over.
Yeah.
And really, it also goes with social media. Roofing is not a bad industry. So when I say that means you don't have to hide it. And I know at first it doesn't seem like a sexy industry. We're trying to change. We're trying to change that. We're trying to change that a little bit. But at the end of the day, don't hide it. So let me try to make it simpler. If you have a Lamborghini, what do you think the first person, if someone sees you, what do you think the question they're most likely going to ask you?
What do you do for a living?
Right? And that opens the door to say, I'm a roofer.
Yeah.
I do roofing. So it's the same exact thing. So when you have social
Shout
media.
out Nick Royer.
Okay.
New View Nick.
Oh, yeah. So when you have the social media now, right?
Yeah.
I seen. When you have the social media and you're showing the social proof,
Yeah.
you're showing the, not necessarily Lamborghini, but
Yeah.
you're winning in life. You're happy. You're being successful. It could be small things, even if you're showing food and it looks good.
Yeah. So
things
first,
like
it's
that.
show them that there is an opportunity.
Yes.
I think simplifying it is like look at the opportunity that is here.
I think first is showing them something that they want to see. Like, why do they want to take this opportunity?
Yeah.
So first, showing them something that they want to see that's attractive to them. You got to
Yeah.
make the commercial first.
I see.
You get
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
So that's why, like, rappers, they have
Yeah.
chains and stuff.
Yes.
It's not just because jewelry. That's why we have Ghost for Sales. We have our
Yep.
chain. Yeah, it's diamonds and it's gold. But what it really does is when people see you, now they look at you. Oh, what do you do? Oh, you rap? No, actually, I own a roofing company.
Yeah.
Yeah, our salespeople get this when they do $1 million in sales for the year. Really? How do I become a salesperson?
Yeah.
Next, you know, a lot of people who like that culture, like that kind of stuff, they're in here now.
Yeah.
Because they see a vision. They see that, things that they like, things that
Yeah.
they're attracted to. So it's the same exact thing. You find out what your people are attracted to. They like cars. They like going to games.
and that's
whatever it is.
culture too. So you're building
definitely
like it. Every company is going to have a slightly different culture. Maybe you have a different focus. Like it doesn't have to be the cars and the
Exactly.
jewelry too, but it could be something else that is also
100%.
attracts people the same way.
100%.
That's awesome. And then now, how are you? What is your advice on vetting those sales reps? And do you just give everyone a shot and see who sinks and swims, or do you?
No.
What's your thoughts on that?
Great question. So another great thing too, just to add on that, is to make sure that you're recruiting everywhere. So not one place
Yeah.
is the right thing. It's not just one answer. So if someone says, hey, where should I recruit on? ZipRecruiter. Yeah, ZipRecruiters, that might be great for some people, and that might be terrible for some other people.
Yeah.
So go everywhere. So social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn. They have, I'm not thinking, even Craigslist. Literally everything. Once you go on everything, you're going to be able to start getting people from everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's a numbers game. And then, yes, we definitely do vet them, because with us, with our company, we feel like because of how much money you can make, that we could really hire anybody, even in front of a Home Depot, a Walmart, and a McDonald's, and they would be able to want the job because of the commissions.
Yes.
But we want people that are duplicatable, that are ready to learn, that are sponges, and that want growth. So then that way they can fit part of our culture. They want to be proactive. They want to keep leveling up.
Yeah.
We give them options to level up. And then eventually where they can have their own team, their own office, their own, group that they can manage. But the only way to do that is for them to be duplicatable.
Yeah. And so you're thinking of the long run too, and the upward mobility that they'll potentially even have. That's another thing that I think that's really important is people need to see the path that even if they're making good money, what's next?
Correct. Because sometimes if there's a ceiling, it's like, now you feel like you've outgrown your space.
Yes.
Sometimes when you feel like you're outgrown your space, you need to go in a larger pond, right?
Yeah.
So that's why you want to let people know, look, there's room for growth.
Yep.
Look, after you're the top salesperson, you could be a team leader too.
Yeah.
After a team leader, if you want to have your own office, with us, you can have your own location. We're going to help you build that location. We're going to help pump you up so you don't feel like you want to start your own company and be in competition. Because what I see with a lot of roofing companies is they don't offer upward mobility. They don't offer a way to grow. So people choose their own ponds.
Yeah.
Where with us, we're dream facilitators. I want you to grow.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of working, for us to make money and to grow. So if you're that guy and you actually have what it takes to grow, I want to empower that fully so we can all grow together.
So now we've talked about being a dream facilitator for the sales reps. Mm-hmm. What about on the production side? What about on the operations people? How are you facilitating their dreams?
That's a great question. That's a great question. So to be honest,
because it's different, right? Like
yeah.
They don't have the same. It's not the same person in that role for sure. A person that's a great sales rep is not the same person that will be a great production manager, right? There's different, there's different things that you can facilitate for them.
You're absolutely right. So the honest answer, I need to do better with that. You brought that to my attention.
Yeah.
As far as the other side, I'm so focused on the sales side that I didn't necessarily, as far as on the production. I know with the production managers, yes, we help them same way as far as sales. Yeah. We find out what they like to do prior, and then we enhance things like that. So our project managers, for instance, they like basketball.
Yeah.
So it so happens that we're the proud sponsors of the Atlanta Hawks, so we get them at games, things like that. But our actual crew, we're going to do something for you guys. I got you guys covered. Jim brought it to my attention.
Coming.
I got you guys covered.
Coming.
Yes.
What are things like there's a lot of companies they're afraid to write those brand checks. The Atlanta Hawks sponsorship is a brand check. Mm-hmm. It's hard to quantify the return on investment on something like that because it's not like a Google local service ads lead and it costs you $45 and you close 40% of them, right? It's a harder thing to quantify. How have you looked at writing those checks for brand?
Yeah, so great question. How I look at it is I think everybody first, before they do anything, need to figure out why they're doing it. Mm. And are you just doing it because you saw someone else's results? So you're like, I see they have money, and they're doing this, so I want to do it too.
Yeah.
Is it just that kind of thing, or do you actually have intention? So for me, for instance, me branding with the Atlanta Hawks, and this is just transparent,
Yeah.
I guess that's the only way to do it, right?
Yeah.
Me branding with the Atlanta Hawks is, one in my head is, I need to be the best, the biggest known roofing company ever.
Yeah.
In roofing, when people ask about roofers, I don't think there's no anybody. Like Tiger Woods, you say golf, Tiger Woods, that's the only person I know. In roofing, it's going to be Roofs by Don, but right now it's nobody or the closest person, Bob the Builder, right? That's I always say that, Bob the Builder. So that's my competition.
Yeah.
So I feel like, one, I just started, but I'm not a little company. I'm not a small business. I'm not a small company. don't even treat me that way. A small company can't sponsor the Atlanta Hawks, actually.
Yeah.
So right now, if you want to say I'm small, I'm the smallest corporate company. I'll take that. So I'm a
Yeah.
corporation. So AT&T, Sprite, Coca-Cola, Roos by Dawn, we're in the same we're in the same arena, literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally now.
Yeah.
And I'm the smallest corporate company, but that was that one that I want to make sure that we're recognized the right way. And also I want to target people that like the experience and I like A-list clientele and people that like to have experience. So even with the Atlanta Hawks, we're in the Harris Club. We got the seats. Is the experience. We're right in the front. We're down with the players and their families. We get free food, free drinks.
Yeah.
It's all about the experience, you know? So it kind of just ties in with our brand,
Yeah.
to be honest. So that's why it makes sense to do it as well.
So what I hear here is that your mindset is, this is my vision. So I'm going to do the things that align with that vision.
Correct.
Right. So a lot of maybe sometimes business owners in general, contractors too, is that you get.
I want one.
You have a big vision.
You want one? It looks good.
We got some food on the way here.
Oh, be careful. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you. That was a good catch.
All right. We got.
Hey, we got the chicken. We got the sliders. We got shrimp grits as far as on hors d'oeuvres. We got the fried chicken and biscuits.
It is a full experience.
Yep, we got a whole bunch of different things. So you guys will see that later on.
Yeah. But I think going back to it's that people don't align with their vision. They won't they're afraid to commit their checkbook to their vision. Maybe that's a good way to put it,
Yeah,
right?
and also I think that people are not visionaries.
True.
They don't have a vision. Their vision is other people's stuff. So they'll see me and they'll see Roos by Dawn and say, "Oh, you're getting endorsed by products? I want an endorsement. How do I do endorsements? Right? How do I get that? How do I get a sponsor?
Yeah.
Oh, I see that you have the roof gallery. It's cool. How do I make the roof museum?
Yeah.
You know, but it's like,
it's emulating instead of it being visionary.
correct.
I see what you're saying there.
So I'm doing it for a reason. I made the roof gallery because I need to be in the Hall of Fame. 'Cause I'm going to be the best known roofer.
Yeah.
And there is no roofing Hall of Fame. So I have
Yeah.
to make it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's here.
Yeah.
You get me? Everything that we do, the luxury stuff, is because we're creating a roofing experience. So this is the first as far as roofing experience where you're on your own home improvement show, but I'm making that, you know, so
Yes.
the Atlanta Hawks, I'm literally have to create the whole vision, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what it really is. So even with the sponsors and endorsements, like, how did you get that? Why do you want that? Do you just want it because you saw me get it? Or did you want it because LeBron James has Nike and stuff like that? All top athletes get endorsed. And that's the reason why I feel like I need to be endorsed, because that's the same thing all top athletes do. And I'm the top of my industry.
That's interesting, man. You have such a unique perspective on the business, on the industry. What do you think the greatest insight is you can share with the audience that's helping you find success in your roofing business?
Being myself. So it's Black History Month. Happy Black History Month.
Yeah.
Being the black sheep, sometimes not bad, right?
Yeah.
You stand out. Right? So let's just say, just like best known roofers, if there's a bunch of, white sheep and then there's one that just stands out, does something just a little bit different, everyone just cares about, let's make money because they've seen other people make money. And me, I'm like, yeah, I know the money's going to come, but I want to have fun when I come to work. So I want it to be about an experience.
Yeah.
So now I'm having fun doing it. And I think that's what attracts everyone else too. And that's what makes it different. So just being yourself.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
This has been another episode of the Roofing Success Podcast.
The Roofing Success Podcast is a success. I'm glad that we have it hosted here at the Roof Gallery.
Yeah.
And Jim is getting inducted today.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
If you would like to generate more revenue through your digital marketing efforts, please visit roofermarketers.com to get a copy of the book, The Best Known Roofer. Also, check the training section of the website for guides on everything from running effective pay-per-click ads to how to properly set up your Google My Business listing. Thanks for listening.